So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Prairie Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, most amazing viewers. If you guys are new here to this channel, welcome. I'm so thrilled that you guys found me, and I have included the disclaimer for this channel if it's your first time here, first time to tarot, so that you know how it is that I am channeling. No information should be earth-shattering, super brand new, completely left field, catch you completely off guard. Okay, if that's the case, then it's most likely not your intuition pulling that through. It's you sort of just running with whatever message is online. Okay, because this reading should support your intuition. Okay, now if you have a hard time working through your intuition, then like I say, I always include the card layout so that we can really connect to it and work through some of our blocks, which are usually fears, beliefs, and our own inability to get beyond ourselves so that we could really connect to the intuition. Okay, so this reading, it will be a pick an option or a pick a card reading. We'll be using these decks right here. I'll put a link for those of you guys who are interested in energetically charging these cards for future readings or taking a look at the cards in this deck and these decks. You can do so by visiting my playlist. And for those of you guys who are returning, you know the spiel. I love you guys so much. You guys are very safe and welcome in this space with me today. Of course, if I have blocked the energy, if I have removed you, if I have silenced you, it's for a very good reason. I love you, sending love and light to you. If you're watching from the bushes, although I cannot channel your energy if it's too distorted, meaning it's too ignorant, it's too stuck, it's too supporting some sort of victim mentality, or it's in an energy that isn't allowing there to be resolution or new solutions or a true desire to heal and move beyond. You know, sometimes we like to stay in victim mentality or stay in suffering. And that's fine. That's just where we're at. But that's not what I'm committing to here. I'm committing to those who want to move forward and work through challenges, shadows, triggers, heal themselves, you know. So, of course, those who are in ignorance could definitely heal themselves as well. But this isn't the channel that's going to do that, or at least they're not aware this channel is delivering healing. Okay, so but we all sort of shift and heal. So if you are prepared to work through some of this stuff and ready, then you could certainly, I don't know, create an account and put a I am here, I don't know, whatever you want to say. You know, that is truly showing that there is a desire to move forward with yourself. Then I am more than willing to do this. Okay, Matthew 18:22. I don't hold anything against anyone. Everyone's in a different place. But I cannot channel when there's ignorance, when they're the narcissist and I'm the whatever, or your channeling is yawn. And it's like, well, why are you here? Why are you not creating your own YouTube? Why are you having anything negative to say out there unless it's coming from within and it's destructive? It doesn't help, you know, it doesn't help you. It doesn't help humanity. And for me, I just want to channel this information. I don't care if you think I'm a clown. If I'm impressing and everyone's loving me, then obviously I'm not doing something authentic, because I will have people who are completely not liking me or not liking this, and that's fine. I'm sure I sound crazy to a lot of people, you know, that's fine. But we don't need to hurt anyone. We don't need to lash out. We don't need to project our wounds on anyone, you know, no matter what our opinions are. And so this is why I have to silence any distortion so that I can channel for those who are wanting to move beyond, even if they feel stuck. It's like, I am open to moving beyond, but I just feel very stuck. That's fine. That's okay. I'll channel the same message over and over and over, you know, even though I am human and I do get annoyed repeating the same thing. But it is for those who are really needing it, you know. So sometimes my channel could come through with the same message over and over. So I do apologize for those who might not resonate with the message here, but my commitment is always for the ones who need to hear it, for the healing, the growth, and the journeys that I am connected to energetically for the delivering of whatever it is Spirit's wanting to communicate. Okay, not Linda's opinion, not Linda's insight, not my advice, not my I'll take your advice, and consider it. No, I'm channeling Spirit. Whatever you want to do with Spirit is up to you. If you're here, I'm channeling Spirit. Okay, in this case, I'm going to be channeling your person. I am channeling what your person is coming to realize about themselves, about the connection, about whatever recent realizations are helping them in their conscious awareness here. And so it could have a lot to do with you. It could have a lot to do with them. It could have a lot to do with the connection between you guys. However it pulls through is going to be what they're wanting to tell you in regards to what is coming into their realization. So it could be completely out to lunch. We might not really even agree with what it is that they're talking about, because it's their perspective, their position. And so we don't need to yell at the wind, And so if it doesn't sound like your person, then of course it's not your pile. But just because it's not maybe sounding like what you're wanting them to say or the truth of what you feel is accurate, then it doesn't necessarily mean it's not your person here. Okay, so this could be very challenging, triggering, whatever. But it's not my intention. It's my intention to deliver exactly what it is this person would tell you from their perspective regarding their recent realizations, or what they're coming into realizing about this connection in themselves or you. Okay, so connect to the energy once I put the options out and listen to your intuition. I will be right back. All right, so I've pre-shuffled oracle cards and I have not looked at them. I asked Spirit to be able to channel what it is that your person on your mind is coming to realize about themselves, about the connection, or about you specifically, whatever is sort of the bigger realization that pulls through. Okay, it could be a mixture of all three. It could be one specific area, but it's going to be what you're needing to hear in regards to what this person is communicating from their perspective. So 3 options. Option number 1 is this glass paperweight with the controlled air bubbles. All right, option number 2 is this glass Cinderella slipper. In fact, I'll leave it like that. And option number 3 is this glass crystal gem. Okay. So I'll let you guys sit here with this. I was tempted to include sounds because some of us are very much into sounds rather than just seeing the object. So I might do that for the next pick a card. I don't know what sort of sounds, but it was coming through something about sound, So just sit with this energy and maybe you're going to hear something, Sit with all the pile and whatever sort of comes to you. Maybe it's through a download or something you hear around you that might indicate something. Okay, I don't know, but the sound is coming through for some reason. So take your time, pause the video if you need, and then when you're ready, let it run and use your intuition. First one you're sort of pulled to will most likely be your person's energy, okay? But if you do select one that doesn't feel right, then don't be forced to sit there. Go to another pile, okay? It should support what you already know intuitively, okay? So take your time, and I'll see you guys at your pick. Beautiful pile number 1. You guys picked the glass paperweight with the controlled air bubbles. So let's take a look. So what I learned today when I grabbed this out of my cabinet, it was very like greasy and it smelled like vinegar. And I was looking it up because I have a lot of antiques, and sometimes the glass will smell like vinegar. And apparently if you keep it in a, I think it's oak, but a cabinet, the old antique glass could start to disintegrate or leak out certain chemical. Okay, so what I saw right away with the vinegar, though, is that card in the Kim Cran's alchemical, the vinegar, where it's like it could ruin the flavor of something if it's like drenched in the vinegar, could leave sort of a sour taste in our mouth. But we do use vinegar to, like in our cooking in the right sort of amounts. So something could certainly be out of balance here, or at this time, dysregulated. Like I'm seeing temperance in the reverse. I'm seeing the vinegar card. I'm seeing even, what's that called? Forget what that card is called, but it could be also what was coming through with the card. Sorry, I know there's a lot, but it was coming through as potentially a period of no contact. Like you could definitely be in a period of separation. Words were said, what happened left me feeling a certain way, distasteful or whatever. Okay, but I do feel it's temporary. Okay, and I do feel like I don't feel this is like a brand new person either at all. Okay, unless you just met and then there's like this sort of thing, but like a blow up or you don't talk to them right now. I don't think so. I feel like there's definitely history here. So what I was going to do, sorry, no, lots of communication. We're going to pull the tarot, okay, as well. Yeah, in fact, I'm going to pull the tarot after we lay these cards. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this. So we're going to lay the cards. Any messages that I'm not going to channel as your person, I will communicate first, and then we'll channel as your person directly, okay? Sorry, because it does channel differently here when I'm directly channeling your person. So let's see. We have Venus and Mars with 30 and 3. Can you guys see around the bubble? Okay, Venus and Mars. So we have Taurus, Libra, Aries, and Scorpio energy pulling through. Taurus as well. Okay, I'm pretending to be happy and it's all fine, but I'm miserable. That's really giving me this Venus energy, covering up something superficial here. And then the Mars is all about being empowered, taking action, being assertive in our life and directing our energy. But if we're engaged with superficialness, or we still wear a mask, or we're still lying to ourselves, or in denial, or suppressing, or avoiding, or denying, okay, or whatever, we are skirting around something we're being called to look at, then we are just sort of lying to ourselves. That's the action we're taking, okay? Alrighty, temporality. Remember I told you something's temporary here. 61-7. Okay, so Cancer energy here, and it's also giving me the Tower, which I was feeling like something needs to be acknowledged, not upholding this mask or this false world. This is actually really tying me into yesterday's reading, pile 1. It's kind of giving me 6 cup in reverse or something like this, but we'll see. Okay, so it says, I remember the day we met like it was yesterday. Okay. All right. So I do feel there's been time apart here. Compassion, 98 and 8, rational quality. It says love for the other, feel the pain, goodness, mercy, human-centered, being kind-hearted. Type 8, the challenger, instinctive, centered between strength and weakness. Every time I see this is like I see the meme, like, oh God, like there's someone just like being dragged behind. Like I can't find the strength, and just sort of like, I don't know. That's what I get from this card, although it does talk about compassion, but something's definitely in the shadow here. Pluto, Leo, and Aquarius. And then we have injustice. Like, woe is me, it's all unjust, nothing I can do, Someone feels very disempowered here. 88's a master number, a higher calling that is grounded in self-awareness. Yeah, so if we're self-aware, we see beyond our mask and the pretending or the false self or the superficialness, and we connect to what is true so we can be empowered. Okay, abuse of power, malevolence, harm, persecution, mistreatment, feeling victimized. Type 8, the challenger, instinctive, center between strength and weakness, and we have more Pluto energy. So Scorpio, more Leo, and more Aquarius with the 8. 8s are all about movement, which I do feel this person is being called to move. It's about change, which I do require this person's being called to really look at the changes they're being called to make. Okay, it's also about authority, manifestation, which is sort of this Aries energy that they're being called to take on themselves, leadership. It's also about goals, abundance, manifestation. Yeah, all right, focus on yourself. Yeah, this person is not sitting with their truth at the end of the day. This is how this comes through. I can't move on. I'm not making this up. I can't move on no matter how hard I try. Remember, I can't. And I don't want to make fun of this person. They really believe that they're stuck somewhere, It could feel very, very much like they're the victim of circumstance here and that their hands are tied, but it's very 8 swords. And it could be very karmic for sure, to see something, acknowledge something before they're able to. Hidden feelings, and I don't know what that says. Cano? I don't know. Hidden feelings. Ti amo? Does that mean I love you? In different language. Hidden feelings. Wearing the mask and pretending. Okay, and then the sword and rose. Clarity, truth. Yeah, definitely truth. Revelation, solidarity, force, honor, and protection, and power. Okay. Then we have toxicity. Devil energy, Capricorn energy. And then we have I dream of you. Okay. We have miracles. I just heard I can't, but God can. So they're sort of giving it up to the universe, So is this like, there's nothing I can do. Okay, beauty queen, shining on stage and adored. 6 wands energy I feel here. Beautiful. And then we have light. This is sort of like fame, something being appreciated or seen here. Aquarius energy with the lights. Imagination, I embrace and nourish the creative aspects of my mind. 7 cups. And it's a more pointed 7 cups, though I feel here, It's like not allowing ourselves to be 8 swords, but to think about possibilities that we are able to move upon here. Thinking outside the box, okay? So real identity, self-acceptance, fullness versus lack. Realism, thankfulness, appeasement, place in the world. Type 4, the individualist, emotional center between lack and abundance with 4. Scorpio energy and Aries energy, which was definitely coming through as well, 13 and 4. And then the purple. Purple is the color of the third eye or the crown chakra here, reflection. The energy of reflection supports our growth through the insights we get from contemplations of self and others. Yeah. Yes. The true self's wanting to come true with a revelation. Okay, but it is what they have realized. So let's pull the tarot together. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. They came here in regards to the person on their mind, and they want to know what it is that this person is coming to realize, is coming to realize, or has realized recently about the dynamic between pile 1 and the person they came here about. Realizations about themselves, realizations about the connection, realizations about pile 1 specifically that they're having. Clear and concise message for the greatest and the highest good of the collective tuned into this pile. Please protect me and the viewer and this connection as I channel this message. I'd like to thank your higher self, spirit team, spirit guides, interdimensional beings, and spirit for this active divination. Thank you so much. Please help me to channel this in a way that pile 1 will understand. From the person on their mind's perspective, what they are realizing, coming to realize, have realized, coming into their awareness. 9 swords in the reverse. Really getting this sort of an energy. Alrighty. Yeah, 10 swords. All right. So let's take a look. We have Temperance, which is the very first energy I was feeling here, the imbalance. Now it's in the upright Sagittarius. This is healing. It's about alchemy. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, out of my hands. The universe, prayers, miracles, destiny. And then the Sun in reverse. Can't see or dream of better days to come, or a truth that is in the dark or not revealed. Okay. 2 of Pentacles in the reverse. There's that imbalance energy again. Not in a position to do so. 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. Not in a position to do so. 9 of Swords in the reverse. And then we have the High Priestess in the reverse. I can't see. I don't understand. I'm not seeing. Okay. 10 Swords is the end. 7 of Cups was this feeling I was feeling, but it is in the reverse. So let me sit here with this energy and channel. Now, if there is anything that I do want to say before I channel your person, it will come forward first, and then I will channel like your person directly, okay? So just give me a moment to sit with this energy first. Make sure that we are all visible here. Yes, all right. I feel like what I experienced with you has brought about something that cannot be suppressed or talked away. Although I haven't acted on this understanding, it's left me for a long period of time feeling very confused. And it's grown from not wanting to see it, not wanting to tell myself that everything that I was feeling or experiencing was real. Maybe even talking myself logically into what I wanted to feel or what was right, because what I felt was right was honorable. What I felt was right was to honor what I was already doing. And then what's happened is that this grew inside of me, this truth that I can't suppress, that I can't run from, that I can't pretend didn't happen. And it's the truth of how I'm really, truly feeling. But it feels like almost like God's punishing me, showing me what it is I can't have, showing me what I can't do anything about. And it's like torture sitting with this truth that I know. And so for some time, I've been convincing myself that it would go away or that this feeling would shift on its own. And the only thing that I could do was kind of fake it till I make it, or believe in something other than missing out on this connection. And you feel so far away because I think you were expecting me to get it straight, figure it out sooner. And that I let you down, that I've been doing something that's been against this connection, that hasn't protected this connection, or that hasn't reflected back to you the honoring of this blessing of this connection. I feel I wish I could explain to you from this angle and this side how I feel out of my power to do anything. And maybe from the outside, it appears as though I have the power to choose a way out of my circumstance, make different decisions, and align to that which is more true. And if I don't, then I'm choosing a false world, or I'm choosing to drag my feet or turn a blind eye to what is real. And it's not that. I feel like my circumstance hasn't yet released me, or there's more here that I have to uncover or do. It does feel like it's the right thing for now. But I don't know why the right thing feels like a lot of pain, why the right thing feels like I'm in purgatory or I have to suffer, or that the right thing would be this uncomfortable for me. It's like my true desires have to be removed from me at this point in time, and I'm not understanding why. And that the only thing that I could really rely on is a grace of God or something coming through to shift my situation that I can't do myself, or find the strength within myself to face or to say or to do and move beyond this. The only thing I'm capable of doing when it comes to this connection is to remember the past, what we've experienced, the conversations and the energy we shared, and also sort of just putting to the universe that I hope one day things would shift or change, or that circumstances would be different. I have good intentions to work through a lot, but I don't feel I have the right time, nor do I feel like I have what it is that I need to move beyond my circumstance. I feel like what I have to choose or do is out of honor and out of another truth that also really exists here in my world, but it feels like it's not moving me towards you. It feels like you're getting further away. I feel like if I truly loved you, I'd be happy that you have the ability to be loved, to be happy, to be seen, to shine, to grow, to really just move forward without me, you know? It's like that's the right thing. But then a part of me is selfish. A part of me really just wants you to understand this part. And I don't know that you would choose different, because I don't want to ask you to wait or to have to do anything here, but it's like my deeper soul is dreaming about what could happen. And if I were to tell you, here's what I dream of, or here's what I can imagine for us, it's like unfair to you, because I'm not sure I'm in this position that I could ever sort of release myself from my circumstance here. It feels like I'll be faced with this reality that I'm in forever. And although some part of me says it can't be true, and some part of me says that there might be a way that we can make it, or to get through this thing, the reality is I feel I don't know what I can do. I don't know how to free myself. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. And it feels like every time I want to connect with you because I miss you, or because I need to connect to you, I'm reminded again of like what truly matters here, which is if I can't break free, if I can't move on, if I don't know how to progress, if I don't know what to do, then it's unfair of me to paint that picture to you. And so I just refrain from telling you, from reaching out, because I know that the following question would be to require me to do something that I'm not in a position to do. So all I can do is sort of not admit truths, is to feel deeply in silence, is to function in my environment like everything is fine, like I'm not hurting, like I'm not putting my place or my mind somewhere else, like I'd rather be in a different place. And this place is to be experiencing with you. So I sit unfulfilled, almost like this martyr that I have to stay, and that this is sort of my calling right now in this place. And then I'm doing this from a very good intention. But it feels like it's causing a lot of harm, because it doesn't feel like things are getting better. And it feels like whatever I did choose and whatever I am doing is giving you the impression that maybe what we experienced wasn't real, or that I'm forgetting about you, or that what we experienced was just insignificant, or it's come to pass, which is not true. I've tried to just focus on my world to move forward and release, but it's become louder. And I know that there is more here that's requiring me to do. And I feel like I can only fantasize about what I can do, or what I can say, or how things could shift. But I don't do anything different. I don't allow myself to actually make different decisions. I keep functioning in the same way I've been functioning for some time here, and it sort of feels like it's eating me alive in some way, even if it's for the greater good, even if it feels like it's requiring me to stay. All my energy feels very misaligned in my world. I'm understanding why things sort of had to change between us, and I do understand why this part of my world must come to an end first. And so all I could think about here is like, once this closes, once I'm able to deal with the final chapter in this world that I am dealing with here, then I could move forward with my dream. I feel like my dream is a future that's aligned with you, where I can invest, where I am able to support it, protect you, protect this connection, be healed, be healthy. And I don't feel that I'm in that energy state of mind, and that it could be something that's very damaging to our connection or to you. That if I'm unhealed or unprepared or unready or not in a position to support you, support this, it's like I don't see it within my available reality, that I am prepared, or that I have what it takes, or that the stuff that needs to line up in order to support this is in place. I don't know how it could get into place, or I don't know. I'm sort of putting my hands out to the universe saying, allow things to really flow towards the direction of truth, and protect me as I move through this circumstance. I feel like this connection does feel like something that is led by the divine. And so I do know that there's a more that we can't see, or that I'm not being shown about where this could go, or even at this time about how to move beyond the challenges that I am faced with. I feel like there is a calling to align me with truth, and that is there. But whether I am investing in that truth or aligned with that truth is the part that keeps me up. Because one way it feels like it could be very true, but it feels like I'm stripped of that which feels more authentic, which feels more like me. And that is the connection between you and I. And then there is this world where I feel might even feel like it will eventually shift or turn and free me. That it is something that I'd have to work through and come to a natural conclusion of freeing myself, forgiving myself, having compassion on myself to make different choices. Nobody around me here knows the suffering that I'm experiencing. I'm sort of keeping it to myself, this disappointment, this lack of emotional happiness that I feel here. It doesn't make me feel fulfilled. It makes me feel like I let someone go that I feel I could have a future with. I think the main truth that I'm having a very difficult time reconciling with myself is that if I admit a future that is full of change, that is aligned with this connection, that it would require me to do stuff in my world that I'm not quite prepared to do. Because I would carry too much guilt, responsibility. I would feel it's not in line with what the universe would expect from me. It'd be not the right timing, that the divine is getting me to work through certain things. So I just feel like our timing is off. And why hold you back? But I want you to know that I see you of value. I see your beauty. I see what we could be, and what we have experienced is very real. I feel like I'm just stuck in some form of purgatory, reflecting, hoping, wishing, praying, and numbing myself out from my environment. And then to survive, convincing myself of why I'm sort of here and needed to be here, and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And then to make me feel better, I just sort of go back to what it is we experience, what it is that, how you make me feel, and then sit and daydream about it. But I do feel very powerless, and I feel like what I am experiencing is very real, and that there's a lot of changes that are happening. And while these changes are happening, I feel very disempowered. I feel like everything's sort of out of my hands. I feel like this ending that's been created between you and I was as a result of me not being able to have the strength to move in your direction and to close out what needed to close out. And I can't mix these two worlds, because one definitely would have to be claimed as the truth. And so I'm taking this time to reflect, and it does feel like a heaviness. It feels like a sadness. It feels like I'm being tortured by the universe here. And so I pray to see, I pray to understand, I pray to be given what it is that I need, so that I can invest differently, so I can make changes, so that I'm able to heal and come forward in a way that could sustain it, could maintain it, and could develop and support what we could create together when the timing is right. Okay, pile number one. It feels very much like someone who feels at the mercy of their circumstance and disempowered, and only we know what their divine lesson that I still feel is being played out here to heal something, that maybe still hasn't been seen or healed in some way. So it might not be as easy as just making a decision to go or to sever something here. I feel like this person's world is shifting, changing a lot. And I feel this person is learning about empowerment, and so while in it, it feels disempowering. It feels like I can't. There's a lot of this out of my hands. I can't. And, so that could definitely be this sort of healing energy. It's like, reflect upon their inner strength, reflect upon what they are capable of harnessing, so that they can align themselves. But it would really take this knowing oneself, truth and clarity, sitting with oneself enough to harness that energy. But I feel there's a daydreaming, imagination. I dream of you, this miracle, and what I don't see. And so it's like fantasizing about a better day and a better future, and then remembering what we did experience, and then feeling bad that I can't, So it's more time spent in the woulda, coulda, shouldas is what it feels like. And almost feeling like misunderstood by you. So I don't know that this person's coming to really realize what they're supposed to be sort of doing, but maybe they understand something, like I said, that's in the hands of the divine, that we can't see, that's still sort of working itself through, but that they haven't moved on from you, but they also haven't been able to close out what they're dealing with, and that it's like, I have to deal with this, but it's like I don't feel they're dealing with that. It's like eventually it'll come upon me, eventually my prayers will be heard. Eventually kindness will be sort of bestowed upon me, and the miracle of freedom will come upon me. Like, I don't know, this could be someone, religious in some way, like praying at an external thing, but it's like, instead of like tapping into the internal self that could claim decisions, but if there's this mask, then it's like disjointed from the truth that they're still needing to find and connect to. So the fetal position, and then this, like I said, this person sort of flopping like helplessly, like, I can't go on no more, you know. It's a very helpless sort of energy here. Anyway, pile number one, instead of just cutting it short, I'm just going to do, I'll do this for all three piles. Just what do you need to know? Okay. And maybe this is why you guys maybe called it quits, or that there's a period of like 10 swords between you and this person. It's like you have to come to terms with an ending of something or transition out of something, but all these swords are pointing to the mind. 9 swords is about the mind as well. So it's like this person has to come to some understanding of truth. They have to see it. They have to understand it, you know, and they're like, I still haven't reconciled what is true. So they could hold beliefs that contradict this truth. Yeah, it's like they don't see it yet with the Sun in reverse and the High Priestess. I don't see how to justify a move. Let's see, what does pile 1 need to know? What is the guidance and the advice for pile 1? Can we close out this reading for the greatest and highest good of this connection? King of Pentacles in reverse. I can't. So they feel sort of like it's out of their hands in a logistical sort of way, maybe in a financial sort of way, or the universe isn't aligned practically to support me. And so I feel like I'm not in a position to build, to commit to a long-term build, feels very wobbly and not secure here. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So it's a long structure that I have to part with potentially, that's created my stability, my security, my family, my roots. How do I detach from my roots, you know? 6 of Swords. How do I move forward from that? It's going to create some sort of storm, so anticipation of like worst case scenarios here. We could be very attached to our safety or security in some way that gives us a false sense of security. Totally feeling pile number 1 vibes from yesterday's reading. Okay, 7 of Swords in reverse. So there's pretending, there's the real identity. There's a need to see something for how it is, you know? If this means I'm not going to have the money or the structure or the stability, and that's the 9 swords that keeps playing in my mind, or the thought story, it's like, well, what is the truth about what that means, you know? Because if we believe that I'm incapable or I'm going to be stripped of something here, then we're relating that our environment is the who we are. So I feel like because we're asking about guidance, it's like, what is the truth that you're able to acknowledge in the practical world? Is someone who might be still putting an end to something in their world and you sort of moving forward. So there is, and not sort of intermingling yourself with sabotage or with untruths, or I don't know, it feels very 5 Pentacles. Yeah, like stay in the victim mentality, stay, you know. Someone feels like, I don't know, this almost feels like the same energy as, and you can apply this to your situation. It's like, if I have a divorce, then I lose all my money, you know? Like I will lose everything I've built for here. Lack mindset, and then I'll have nothing. And if I have nothing, then who will I be? I can't build, I can't be, I'll have nothing. Ace of Pentacles. I'll have nothing, and so I can't create something. That's what they got to move away from. So if this is your energy, which it could very well be, it's like there is a truth here beyond the practical and the victim mentality of the cannots, have-nots, to be able to have a new beginning, to move forward, you know? And then the Devil, yeah. Stuck, Capricorn, and more Capricorn, Scorpio, Pisces. Nine of Wands in the reverse. This giving me this energy, someone who's really sort of given up maybe on like anything that they can do at this time. They're really feeling stuck by this devil. So, beautiful angel, what is your guidance? Someone's in a circumstance that, if this isn't your energy, of course, there's really nothing you can do except for admit truths to yourself. If somebody is still chained to something that isn't allowing them to move on or heal or grow, or like they feel it's very real because it's in their 3D and they believe that they're incapable. And so this makes them unavailable. This makes them unreliable. This makes them sort of hold this new beginning hostage, this ability to create with you or whatever. It could create a lot of tension, and it's like, maybe you see the truth. It's like my beginning, my new beginning, or my real potential that I could start has to be detaching and sort of releasing this person and leave them sort of to battle their own devil. You don't need to battle this devil. You don't need to stick around and hold your future hostage. And you might feel like, I don't know, like I'm leaving them behind, or like I'm giving up, and then they're sort of having to face this devil on their own, But I do feel like Spirit is giving the message of like, the only way for things to shift is for this person to have to work through the devil themselves, which has absolutely nothing to do with your ability to remain in any situation that is not able to build, or where this person cannot make themselves available, like in a practical way. They feel they can't be there for you or give to you or build with you or something like this, and it's like, maybe you wanted this build already, or you wanted some form of admittance of something to come. It's like, you don't have to stay dancing with the devil. You don't have to stay in lack. You don't have to stay where it's not building for you, where you feel blocked, where you feel limited. And it's like, maybe speak your truth, or see the truth, or see where the sabotage is happening, see where the devil is sort of still engaging, and then you don't have to really do anything about it except for slowly move yourself forward, even if there's a lot of confusion here or tough feelings. I might have a lot of tough feelings here because we don't know, where Spirit is sort of doing, because this does feel like, with the Wheel of Fortune and this greater power your person definitely feels is sort of there, could be working behind the scenes, but at this time it feels very much 3D limiting beliefs that is in this person's environment, that's getting in the way of your truth or your happiness or your future or your build or them being available to you. And you could feel very restricted and chained to this person, or so it's they're still thinking of you for sure, but I mean, it doesn't help you to move forward here, because I feel like what you're needing is investment in the practical, not a daydreamer, not a fantasy person, not a person who's sort of in the past or in the future, but in the here and now, and doing what they can do that's committed to it. But it feels like they're invested in something that has them stuck. Okay, pile number 1. This is your reading. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye. Pile number 2, you guys picked the crystal glass Cinderella slipper. And we're looking at the person you came here about, person on your mind, and we're going to channel what it is that this person is realizing about this connection, about you, or about themselves. So it could be something that's coming into their realization, something that they've recently realized, okay, or coming into their awareness. And however it comes through is going to be channeled directly from your person, what they're wanting to communicate about it. So it could be completely their perspective, which might not necessarily be objective truth. Okay. So, yeah, like it could be triggering if we don't agree or if we don't see. Okay. But it's not meant to be triggering. And what I will do is, at the end, we'll sort of give you some guidance or some advice based on what sort of comes through here. Okay. So let's take a look. We have your goodness with 12. Wow. Pisces energy. And overlay 52. So Cancer energy. We have secret relationship 76 and 4. Hidden relationship, forbidden affair, adultery, a fling, a lover, mistress, unofficial couple. The individualist emotional center between lack and abundance. Aries, Scorpio energy, and more Cancer 79 and 7. Boredom, dissatisfaction, flatness, routine, dull, monotony, disinterest. Type 7 enthusiast, thinking center between pleasure and pain. 4 Cups energy. 1976, 1979 could definitely be important. It's coming through here. Okay, December could be an important month. Also, the age 52 is coming through. Okay, Sun and Neptune, number 9. Sun and Neptune. Wow. Okay. So Leo, a Virgo, Cancer, and some Pisces. So Pisces here. Yeah, Moon and Neptune. Lots of Pisces here. Cancer. Cancer too. Lots of watery energy. And then we have grass is greener. I need time to see if there's better romantic options. So don't take words literally, but definitely the energy of, not seeing the value in front of us. I do want to see this overlay. I've read it like a million times here, but what is this overlay? 52. It says, if you have drawn this sigil, you are currently stuck in an overlay. You're being called to step out of it so as to base your thoughts, words, actions on reality instead. Imagine that a person is in a prison cell from which there is no escape. They cannot cope with the reality of the prison cell, and so they begin to escape within it from their mind. They start to play a game of pretend where the prison is a palace instead. Blah, blah, blah. And then it says, if you have drawn the sigil, you are in an overlay. Unless you see the overlay for what it is and see the reality underneath it, you will be unable to make the choices and changes that will manifest you so desirably want in reality. You are just pretending they are happening in reality, when really they are fantasy you're living in so that you do not have to face reality. That was the message pretty much for pile 1. Okay. That's all this Neptune energy for sure. Wow. All right. Sweet love offer. Cupid's arrow, have faith, love is coming. Surprise, invitation, or meeting and hesitation. I act like I don't care when deep down I really do. All right. And then we have, I am sorry, apology. Past life, knowing, deja vu, and past love. If someone says something that was hurting, hurtful, I should say. It sounds like there was an argument or something was said. It gets better. Okie dokie. Then we have health. I honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. And we have kindness, 29 or 11. The energy of kindness reminds us to be considerate and wise in our interactions with others and ourselves, and to find the root of our love through connection to source. Wow. Then we have confession, 37 and 1, alignment practice, ethical leadership, repentance, I am sorry, ecological action, purification ritual, philosophical circle. Type 1, the perfectionist instinctive center between control and letting go, spiritual practice. 37 and 1, Virgo and Gemini energy, and I need space. Okay, let's pull the tarot. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. What it is that their person is coming to realize, has realized about themselves, about this connection, about pile 2 specifically, directly from pile 2's person on their mind. What would they say that they've realized? The Emperor in reverse. Aries energy. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. We have the Ace of Cups. What is it that pile number 2's person is coming to realize or has realized here? The Star. Aquarius energy. Why is this Emperor here in the reverse? And why is this Star here? Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the 5 Wands. And we have the Hermit in the reverse. The Virgo energy. The World. The 9 Swords. And the 6 of Swords. Okay. And then we have the 4 of Cups, which was the Sportum card here. And we have the 5 Wands. Under that, we have the Fool, which is Aquarius energy again. So let me sit here with this energy, and then I will channel what this message is saying, if there's anything that comes through, and then I will channel it sort of like your person here directly. Okay. How do we want to do this? Like that? Yeah. So let me sit here with this and then see what comes through first. I'm sorry, I gotta pause because I think I got a message. Just give me a second. All right, let me keep going. Okay, this message is really clear what your person is sort of going to express here to you. I'll channel them first, and then yeah, we'll kind of review maybe after the fact and see what comes through. Okay, so just give me a sec. I was sort of making motions and acting fairly immature. I know that I've hurt your feelings. I know that I've said things here that have tested your patience with me, you know, pushed you to the edge. Pushed you to the edge many times here. And that everything in my action is showing you almost like you don't matter. And it's not that I want to inflict pain upon you. There's a part of me that sabotages all that's sort of good, you know? And I think what's really hurtful is that I aren't honoring the truth of you and what you mean. And so it could make you feel devalued. It could make you feel like you don't matter. And that not stepping forward and being completely open and transparent and honest with you is painful, and it is disrespecting you and in a way that isn't fair. And so it's a selfish energy of not saying I am too immature or hurt or not capable to provide to you what you're needing in that moment, because I haven't learned it, or I haven't the strength to do it, or I'm just not mature enough to stand in integrity and truth, and then I won't admit it or be accountable in it, and then I create a world where you might feel misunderstood or like confused about my intention or my love or my truth. And so what I'm realizing is that you are someone here that really matters to me, and that you are someone here that is very true. Your intention is good, and your heart is true, and that your love is real, and that you do deserve truth and integrity, and you don't deserve to sort of be on the sidelines of of this connection. And so I'm sorry that I've said things that have hurt you. I'm sorry that I've acted like you were insignificant in a way that didn't matter to me. And to keep you in this sort of up in the air as a possibility of a dream, but not taking charge of it, not aligning myself in a way that makes this a reality, could be very hurtful to you. I want you to know that my intention and my dream and my vision is very real and true, regardless of how I've been engaged, regardless if I've seemed to be distracted or disinterested or acting in a way that you might feel rejected by me, or like I've been not honest or clear with my intention towards you, or the build of what I want. All of that stuff, it doesn't erase my vision of what I truly see wanting with you. And I want a new beginning. I want to explore with you. I want to experience a real world with you and move away from this energy and put it behind me and really close this chapter and be a bigger person and be healed and know how to do this. But the truth is that to do this, to learn this, to just be different isn't something that just happens. And I'm getting to know myself more through periods of time where we're apart, or periods of time where I do something that sabotages or do something that makes it apparent that I'm an ass, that I've been a jerk, or that I've been immature, that I've not stood in integrity and not stood in your honor. I've not acted in alignment with something greater that I know in my soul is the truth. And so initially there could have been a lot of this sorting through, that's left me feeling very murky. But I do feel it is from not really truly accepting truths of myself, or seeing certain parts of myself that were very immature, and just really making you feel like an option, not letting you know that I do prioritize this connection. And so the fear is the intensity that I feel when you're around to sort of conclude this new beginning and close this chapter, prematurely in some way. And so I've hesitated that you're right for me, or that the future I want with you is not there, but hesitated in saying that I am ready, or that I could stand in integrity and truth, or be this person that's already healed, or that's already developed in the way that you need. And then I stress myself out saying I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, I'm not capable of making these decisions consistently that support greater truth and honor, because of my experience of the past and how I see myself. And it's not a good place to be. And so what I need to say to you, I've realized, is really let you in on the truth that it's not you that's been rejected or not important or the issue in any way. It's me. It's me treating you in a way that's not in line with integrity, and it makes me feel even worse about myself, and it sort of reinforces the belief that I am not ready, or immature, or incapable, or less than you in some way, or that I can't protect or honor this connection. I just feel like there's someone that could be a way too good for me, and I have to be playing a role that I'm not stepped into yet. I feel like I do trust that the future would unfold in a way here that we both would want. I feel like there is a connection that relies on something that we can't break, an inner knowing and a past that is very real, a connection that is very deep, that runs beyond this lifetime. And it's too intense and very, it makes me react in certain ways that are beneath me. And then I realize I've said something to hurt you. I've said something out of the pain. I've lashed out, or I've made you feel insignificant, or like there were more important things that I needed to deal with. And then I dangle a future of what can be possible, or a dream or a hope of us working through this thing without really making this thing official, without really being pointed in my truth and giving aim to this thing, or taking it in the direction that I feel you're wanting and that I'm wanting to reach. I really want to come forward and say, here is what I can offer you. Let's build this thing, But when I do this, if I fall flat, if I fall short, if I'm not there and I disappoint you, or it falls flat, or something happens where I'm not as in control as I thought I could be, I'm not as strong as I thought I could be, I'm not as confident as I thought I could be, then it's like I've ruined us. I've ruined our future. I've ruined this potential, this opportunity, this dream. It feels like a dream that I don't want to step into if I'm not prepared. And so I feel like in these moments of reflection, after the disappointments, after making you feel like I've chosen other things, or like this connection doesn't mean as much as it does to me, or periods of time where nothing's really moving or making you feel like my intention is to create something with you. I sit, I reflect, I realize the truth of what you mean to me, and I want to be a better person. I want to be there for you. I want to move beyond this. I want to show up. I want to have a full cup for myself so I can engage with you and give to you and share with you and change with you and just move out of these feelings. But sometimes I feel no matter how much love you give to me or we experience here, I feel I don't connect to the self-love. I don't connect to being able to receive the love. I feel you've always been there, sort of protecting this connection, protecting me even from myself. I feel like I've left you feeling dissatisfied. I feel like I've left you sort of feeling unimportant, and just like your love is not wanted or rejected here, and not validated and not valued, because I haven't told you. And all my actions have sort of showed you, like, I'd rather choose other things to do, or that you're not worthy of a future or of a commitment or of a build. And that's not true. And so my feelings run very deep for you. I have a lot of feelings I haven't shared with you. I want to be able to tell you how deep I feel for you. And that sometimes this feels almost unreal. And that to live in my mind about how this could go, or to fantasize about what this means, is safe, because I can't sabotage my fantasy. I can't be wrong in my own fantasy. I can't do wrong in it. And I could be all that I can be in my fantasy, and it's enough. But in this real world, it's like, am I enough? Have I changed enough? Am I what you need enough? You are what I want for myself, and I'm trying to align to the version of myself that could get on that path, that could build that future, that could really stand in that, in which needs to happen here in order to make it a reality, a truth. And I just feel like sometimes there's just too many things that get in that way, things internal beliefs of that I carry, or challenges that I have to face or overcome, or things that maybe you're holding on to or believing or conflicted with, that I just feel like I don't know how I could overcome. It's like I don't want to be the one that loses control. And so sometimes I just disregard your concern. I disregard what it is that maybe is important to you, so that I can still maintain control, so that I could still have some form of victory, because the victory I see is a future with you. And so letting you go and hanging on to this thing and this dream, but in the meantime, it's like in this experience, you're feeling like you're getting the short end of the deal, or like you're not being honored in a way here that is really truly the way you deserve. I'm just realizing how much you've been there for me, how much you've made me feel really like someone cares about me almost more than I can care about myself, And it always mattered to you that I was loved or protected or safe in some way that I couldn't give to myself. And all this resulted in is, me wanting control in a way that's made you feel I was selfish or uncaring. So it stemmed from my lack of belief in myself and the version of me that I could step into, because I haven't taken the time to get to really truly sit with my truth, who I am behind this pain, who I am behind this need for control, or this immature version, or this lack of confidence that I hold. I think I've been sort of in that world for too long, dreaming of a version of me that could make things happen, that could step into the role that I do feel we're both wanting to experience, and that I could just come forward and offer it to you without failing, without disappointing, and have the confidence to maintain that. And it's like sometimes I feel like to maintain it, I'd have to have an energy here of trusting in myself and confidence in myself, and it's just fleeting. It's like something that I need to harness over time, that I need to connect with over time. And I do feel like this connection feels very destined. And so part of me feels like, why rush? Why all this conflict, But the trauma is loud, and the past experiences are very loud and conflict with that. And so what's important for me is to maintain the dream, the vision that I have of what we could build, but how to get there and how to be that person is what I'm working through right now. So I do trust that healing happens. I do trust that I could be more supportive. I do trust that we could work through a lot of this stuff as I heal and work through. But I feel like in the meantime, there's part of you that's dissatisfied, part of you that sees how I'm acting as a hesitation, or like a disrespect in some way. Like you're putting up with someone that's you don't need to, and that you have a lot of options and opportunity, aside from me. And it's like a sabotage in a way that shows me that you can just go and choose that life, choose that, But I feel like you've been here. And it makes me have to face an even deeper truth that I am worthy and that I can be more. And that I know that there's more. I feel very connected to you. I know that there is a deeper truth that we could live together in a way that we haven't yet been able to support. And so it's been happening in my mind. It's been happening in my dreams. It's been happening in a different dimension. So I'm sort of sometimes feeling very frozen, wanting to observe how things unfold. And I know that you're sort of watching my growth, my action. And I hope to do right by you. I wish to be in line with truth with you and be able to confess to you the truth of my feelings and my pain and what I have been going through, but it's very difficult for me to do. So I want you to know to have faith in where this is leading us, because I do feel like we are destined to experience something further than just this pain, that this dream I have, you have too, and that this connection is very real. Pile number 2, it sounds like your person might have taken you for granted in some capacity here. There could have been definitely some argument or some words said. Your person wants to move beyond it for sure. There's new beginnings they're wanting to have, It's like they're conflicted within themselves. There's definitely a lack of confidence or an ability to step up here, which is creating this sort of hesitation or this untruth. It's like keeping you sort of in limbo land or in fantasy land, or even making you feel like you're not prioritized and everything else sort of is more important by not confirming, validating maybe your feelings or this connection. So let's take a look at what Spirit wants to say in regards to guidance, advice. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. What is the guidance for the viewer in regards to the person on their mind and their recent realizations about pile number 2? What is it that pile 2 is being advised to do? Guidance, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of this connection. Your person is healing some deep trauma and some wounds, It's 3 swords really coming through with this. And it could be stuff that's happened to them that they've carried that they haven't been able to release. And that's being shown to them as a result of engaging in this connection. Actually being called to read. Let me grab it because it's calling. I might have to pause. Let me pause because I'm really being called to read this thing. Okay, just give me a sec. Okay, pile number 2. It's in the Sacred Earth Oracle, which I'm not using here today, but I'm really seeing it. It's preservation. It's coming through. Okay, so spiritual meaning. Okay. No, sorry. Let's start with the earthly meaning. It says, a dream is dormant, not lost. The reticence to accept something positive, a slow awakening to love. It is okay to take your time. Emotional barriers, self-preservation may have become self-sabotage. rejecting opportunity due to a fear or anxiety. The dismissal of kindness or a doubt over someone's intention is unwarranted. This is how your person sort of deals with love here, okay? So spiritual meaning, peace is a surrendering. Love is vulnerable. Allow yourself to trust and believe that love is here for you. You are safe, protected, and loved by the divine. Let love water the seeds of joy, creativity, and contentment that lie within you. Accept the blessings of this world into your hearts so your true self can blossom. So this is the part that I was picking up. So it says, seeds take refuge in the soil and wait for the rain. Long periods of dry can change the soil so that when the rain comes, the water beads on the surface, unable to penetrate the dry ground. The seeds need the rain to trigger them to life, but the soil has become hydrophobic, a term that literally means a fear of water. Of course, the soil is not afraid. Deep down, it craves the water, but it will only become absorbent with exposure to more and more water. Water being love, okay? Hydrophilic or water-loving soil can absorb and make the most of the lightest of rains. But soil that has been denied moisture for an extended period of time needs to be exposed to far more before even a drop can be absorbed. When water finally sinks in, the seeds preserved within the soil abandon their sleep and rejoice in growth. Water is life, so is love. When someone is denied kindness, comfort, or the blessings of life, they can become reluctant or even unable to accept them. But a steady dulge of love can eventually break through the surface. Let the love in. The seeds of hope and joy are preserved within, waiting for love to bring them to life. So your person has a very hard time accepting good things, the love. And so it's like we could pour and pour and pour and pour. And it's like that soil when it's really dry. It doesn't matter how much love is sort of there. But eventually it starts to seep through, And this is why the message of love comes through here, because it's like, to say I've given all this love and it's not getting through, it's like to heal. We obviously can't heal another, but what we can do is acknowledge where someone is at. And if they're incapable of receiving love because of a wound, because of self-sabotage in some way, or they haven't received enough and they become dry, then all this love is the answer. It's like, if we remove the love, then we just create that dry soil some more. But if we infuse it with more love, then we have sort of the breakthrough. Okay, so cool. There's the new beginning, Aquarius, 2 Pentacles. So we're looking at guidance here. 9 of Cups in the reverse. 8 of Cups. Walk away from what's emotionally not satisfying here. Okay, 10 Pentacles in the reverse. An inability to commit and build. There's the 4 of Wands. This is the foundation, the commitment. This is my 1111, which could signify a twin flame connection, marriage, okay, a union. 5 Pentacles in the reverse, coming out of scarcity, and then 6 Pentacles in the reverse, which is giving me this 2 Pentacles. So what's your guidance here? Spirit is really saying that your person could be in an energy here that isn't open to receiving love, because there's a lack of self-love. There's this lack of self and ability, just like I read in the card here, okay, which leads to what they can build in the practical world here with the 10 Pentacle. I feel like you want to build something here for sure, okay, and so you might have walked away. You might see what you emotionally don't want, and nobody wants this, but I think what both of you guys want is this building, this coming together, this greater truth that comes online here. But to do it, we have to get out of scarcity. What is scarcity? It's separation. It's lack. It's like, I will withhold my water and I create more dryness, It's like withhold. And so what does this mean? Because this is a very high spiritual lesson here, We can really say, this isn't satisfying, this is what I want, and I'm going to move towards that, which you have every free right to do this, and you should be emotionally happy. But what I'm really feeling here, especially with this past life and this connecting to some lesson of healing and of some deeper spiritual truth that goes beyond the 3D lessons. Okay, just building for the sake of building or something like this. We can heal with love. We can heal with how we invest, even if we don't want to create, so say, a world here with someone, but it's important for us to stand in integrity. It's important for us not to withhold or change or become bitter or angry or resentful. So it's saying we don't know at what point the love is going to permeate someone's heart that doesn't sort of love themselves, or they're not in a position here in the 3D world to build something because emotionally they haven't reached the place. And so they could really be the type of person who, instead of confronting and dealing and facing, it's like, I will it's like this person is like the blessings, the opportunities, is like turning their back on what could actually help this person to move this person through building a solid future, something that is stable and grounded, that could get them out of scarcity. And all they've really known, and look at here's the drip, drip, drip of the water. It's like all they've ever really known is to what they've experienced or withheld. They've withheld love because they've been withheld of love. And so this could really just repeat something that they've experienced. It's like, I'm unworthy of love. I can't build a thing or commit. Someone realizes I'm not good, so it's self-fulfilling prophecy. They walk away, and then they withhold their love. But this connection is showing that we could still build, that we could still love, that we could still be in an energy here that will allow there to be shift, allow there to be change, allow there to be freedom from past pains to explore without defensiveness or hurts or whatever, however this person was navigating, even if they don't trust in themselves, even if they don't feel they're in a position here to give, it's like they won't know unless they try. They won't know unless they sort of do the thing. And so what is the environment here that is given to this person? Are you available? Are you completely removed? And it's all your right to be completely removed here from this person. But if you're here and trying to understand where this person's coming from and still invested in some sort of shift, because it's like, oh, this person will ever shift or realize or see or all this love. It's like, what do I do with it? Do I harbor it? Do I withhold it? Do I sit here waiting for someone to realize the truth? It's like, no, we don't remove, we don't withhold, we don't sit in the corner waiting. If we want to get involved here, it's like we have to allow ourselves to be the truth giver of love, and not based on transaction, not based on anything other than giving from a full cup. Because if your cup is full, then you give of the overflowing. It doesn't take anything from you, but unless your cup isn't full, then it feels like it's taking from me. It's taking my, if you're drained, if you're energetically sort of giving from a place where your cup isn't full. And so Spirit's asking, is your cup full? Are you full of self-love? Are you able to give to another that might not be in a position to give? Until it permeates, until we see that we're not abandoned, until we see that we are truly loved, until we see that the universe is going different than how we expected it, that I'm unworthy of love. And see, here's me just proving it by someone leaving, walking away, cutting me off, not talking to me, So I feel like there's an imbalance here that's happening, and we could be confused because it's like giving and then withholding, or feeling one way and then feeling another, and then kind of coming online and then coming offline. And it's like the heart is saying it knows the truth, that withholding doesn't feel good, but being burnt out and over giving from when we're not in a full cup, then we're still learning through scarcity. And so this is a lesson of twin flame. Okay, because twin flame is all about unconditional love, moving beyond transactional love, fear-based love, finding a way to learn the lessons of the soul. Okay, I feel like there's something very blessed about this connection. And I feel like you are dissatisfied as well in this connection and this experience. So it's saying, what do you want to build? It's up to you what you want to build, but it stems from understanding how love works, how transactional love works, or fear-based, or investing from a full cup and how that works, or withholding, or lack, or scarcity, or some sort of mindset that could create this energy that might not help the build. Okay, so I do feel that there's a new beginning here on the horizon with this person. If you're wanting, of course, based on acknowledging something here about giving and receiving love, to the best of your capacity. Doesn't mean a burnout, doesn't mean to overgive to this person to the point where you're making yourself sort of a martyr, or that they're able to take you for granted. This is like, what role do I play here? How can I be of service and love without, because that's the lesson, without over-investing, without over-giving, without being resentful, without being emotionally depleted or unsatisfied, because it's always like, it's like two polar extremes. Like, I got to be without if I'm giving, and that's not true. Giving love doesn't make you feel without love. Giving love should feel good. Giving love from a true place is true kindness. And so this could be really what you're working through, and your person gets sense. Is this love based on trying to fulfill some sort of need, that you need me to emotionally fulfill you in a way here? Then this is why this person could have experienced some form of, anxiety, some form of needing space. It's like too much for me to have to carry a burden of having to please others. And so it's like, how does one please oneself? How does one emotionally fulfill oneself? How does one do this and then give from a place of love? So I know this message is probably beyond a lot of people's grasp, It's like, oh, I'm just done. And it's like, okay, then be done, Then be done. So this is your reading, pile number 2. I hope this helped you. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. You guys picked the gem. It was really giving me kaleidoscope effect. So someone's perception could have been creating a lot of distortion, Could be pretty things we see, or it could be distorted things we see. So it could come through as a real gem here. Let's see. So pre-shuffled oracle cards, I ask Spirit for us to channel the person on your mind and what it is that this person is coming to realize, has realized, or will be sort of working through their realizations about themselves or about this connection, about you specifically, and whatever sort of pulls through. Okay, so let's take a look. We have suppression with 40. Aries, Scorpio energy. We have conversion, 66, which is 12. Pisces, and Taurus, Libra energy. I'm getting temperance from this conversion, Sagittarius energy. And then we have enabling, 65, which is 11. Okay, we have 107 and 8, true love, thoughtful love, protective love, steady love, caring love, trusting love, compassionate love. Type 8, the challenger, the instinctive center between strength and weakness. The shadow here, Scorpio. And Leo. On time, 15 and 6, Capricorn and Gemini. So temporality, it says perfect timing at maturity, well-timed, right time, spot on time, accurate timing. Type 6, the loyalist, thinking center between mistrust and trust. With the high self, the gold, and we have Sun, Chiron with the number 7. Wow, major realization here. Not the right time. And we have on time, not the right time. Something about divine timing, the perfect timing, knowing when the perfect time comes about. I love you. Forward movement. Okay. I'll put that right there. A forward movement. And then we have heart with key, welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, and perfect. And then we have destined connection. All right. Uma And then we have wrong timing. Look at all this time, tiddly time. That's right, I said tiddly. Triggered. We want to see the X. Ooh, the X. Some people could be with third party here with this X. Potentially, or some healing from some past. Okay, union. Oh my goodness, serious relationship, marriage, and partnership. Okay. And then we have connect. Destined connection, connect to people, connected at the heart. Wow, this is pretty profound. Honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. All right. And then we have balance, 12, which is this temperance energy I was feeling from here. Okay, but 12 is Pisces. And we have balance. It says the wrong. What does it say? The wrong. The frequency of balance supports our ability to find harmony with all aspects of our three-dimensional and multi-dimensional layers of reality. Hangman. Divine faith, uncertainty accepted, inner confidence, hope, free loyalty, cosmic security, and fierce transcended. Oh, wow. Mystical union. So we have Capricorn and Gemini again, 66 master number, which is service as a source of joy, and which one pours from an overflowing cup, not martyrdom, with divine faith. And then we have our love will never cease to exist. Okie dokie, let's pull some tarot and add to this message. What is it that pile number 3's person on their mind has come to realize, is in the process of realizing at this time? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of this connection. Please protect me and the viewer and this connection as I channel this message. Pile number 3. I'd like to thank your higher self, your person's higher self, spirit team, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, and interdimensional beings, and spirit for this active divination. Please help me to channel in a way that pile 3 will understand what their person is communicating here in regards to their realizations. Thank you so much. A clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of this connection. What is it that pile number 3's person is coming to realize about this connection, about pile 3, about themselves? Okay. Hangman. 2 swords. Right bottom of the deck reverse. More Pisces. Very strong Pisces coming through this channel. Okay. Pisces is really giving me this watery energy of feels, but it's like dreaming and hoping and creating some form of real strong, intense soul vision is really what I'm getting. Soul vision of what this person wants for themselves, you know? It's very strong. All right. So we have 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. Let's see, wrong timing is what I'm getting from that. 7 Cups. That's totally it. This dreamy fantasy, perfect vision of what I want, what I dream, but it's like hopes and wishes. But how do we do it? How do we invest in it, you know? Page of Wands, excitement, news, communication, childlike wonder, adventure, 4 of Swords in the reverse, and the Empress in reverse, Taurus, Libra, and the Queen of Wands in the reverse with the peacock feathers. Okay, so we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Taurus, Libra. And then under the 2 swords, we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Okay. So, can you guys see? I will channel this. Now, if a message comes through first in regards to the channel, I will communicate that. Okay, unless, of course, your person comes through here first with their message, and then we'll finish with some guidance or some advice. Okay, so let me sit with this energy. You guys can definitely skip ahead. All right. I'm coming to understand and accept a truth that I've been sort of fighting. I was fighting this truth for some time because it hit me like a major disappointment, that I wasn't in a position or prepared to take action on this beautiful gift that's been handed to me by the universe, which is this beautiful divine connection, this blessing of you and I. This blessing of you and I is something that deserves to be acted upon and lived upon and supported. And so to get through, there could be a lot of mixed thoughts and challenges that one sits with, rather than just accepting that this connection is something so beautiful and divine, and not be ready in a position to support it. It's been very triggering to admit I'm not healed enough. I wasn't at the capacity to support it. I wasn't able to be there, and that hurts, because this is the perfect union. This is the dream come true for me. This connection has really revealed deeper parts of myself that have gone unchecked, that have been driving a lot of my world for a very long time, unchecked. And now I sit with all of this coming forward with no one to sort of blame, not even to blame myself, but to see the truth that there's a lot of parts within me that needed healing. There's a lot of stuff that needs to get into order within myself so that I could be deserving of a beautiful future that I feel I want, I feel is right for me with you. And so all of these hang-ups that I've had, challenges that I've had with you, challenges that I had with myself, stories and anxieties and conflict that has come about in this connection has really just shown me more about myself and the truth. Because when I strip a lot of it away, what remains is the truth of this connection. And the truth of this connection is in line with being able to give and receive love at the highest capacity, to be able to be open to experience a connection from the heart. And so no matter how much I might have thought I was healed, or how much I thought I was in the position to choose, that I chose how to give love, that I was capable of standing to give love or to engage with love, this connection has showed me where I've been blocking love. So everything that sort of happened to us has been triggering up to the point because we weren't able to move to the next chapter, and it felt like no matter how hard I would try, or no matter what, there was an inability to gain ground, an inability to move the needle forward. And so these deep emotions that have been carried within me all kind of came flushing to the surface, and I remembered why I do what I do, or why I say what I say, or how I sort of trick myself to cope with situations that seem overwhelming or make me have to be vulnerable or expose myself to maybe a potential vulnerability. And this truth is something that can't be manipulated or distorted. And although this truth and this experience has been something that I've been trying to really fit into a narrative that is controllable and bite-sized or manageable, that could still fit into my safety of how I could control the presence of love in my world and feel safe, I've realized that there is no controlling love. There is no manipulating what's true. And that in which is true is scary when we're not prepared. That in which is true is beautiful and scary, because then we have to admit truths to ourselves where we're at and what we haven't yet been able to be completely honest about within ourselves. What still needs to be healed or looked at, or looking on past actions and feeling sort of a lot of regret, disappointment, and sort of taken aback by what I've said or done, and why I've done what I've done. Because I might have thought what I was doing or saying was for the highest truth, or in line with the reality that seemed very real at that point in time. But some of it was sabotaging, and some of it was deflecting responsibility in love or vulnerability, allowing myself to enter with innocence to see what will happen. And so I could control and withhold when I could give, when I could show up, or what I could give, and believe that there was truth to all of this, But at the end of the day, it was pain talking. At the end of the day, there was all of this confusion created by this need for control, or this understanding, or this idea of what I wanted to attain, or what I wanted to be able to control here in love. But the truth is that to experience true love in a way that is honorable and honest is to sit with it without having to manipulate it in a way. And I wasn't trying to manipulate you or a situation so much as it was really believing that I had some form of control in love. I feel like I can see where the core of love must come from the inside. In order to be available to give, I must recognize my own value. I must love myself. I must make myself full and really connect to that in which I can give, and that another won't be the reason for me feeling love or not love, that I can feel love on my own, that I can connect to this on my own, that I don't need to take it from other, that I don't need to only feel loved when another is sort of giving it to me. I feel like I had a lot of fears that I didn't realize were fears until looking back and realizing that what I was doing was out of a fear of not being loved, a fear of being rejected or not seen or undervalued. And the more I was like, I needed to experience that, from another. I feel very connected to you. I feel like I'm learning to accept that the time will come when it's right for us to connect, and that if the time isn't right, it has nothing to do with devaluing me or your inability to be ready or to do whatever is needed. If it's not the right time, it has nothing to do with this great love. The truth of this love transcends beyond circumstance. And I do want to have a future. I do want to be able to move this forward and not feed the toxicity or the trigger or the fear anymore. And I know that you have your own triggers, you have your own wounds, you have your own fears, you have your own doubts, you have your own truth. Regardless if I understand it, I have to honor it. And if you're not in a position to step forward, or you're not in a position to do something here, it doesn't reflect my value. And I don't need to enable the trigger. I don't need to enable that thought that I'm less than or that I'm lacking or without. I feel like I can finally understand and see where my fears have been trapping me, or where the challenge has been happening from my regard or from my aspect. And that my vision of what I wanted to experience or see was the only thought that I could hang on to. And it really dictated a lot of my actions. It really dictated a lot of my moves in the moment. But it was at the expense of seeing what was actually happening in reality. That in reality, if the timing is not right, if things aren't aligned, then that is that in which I'm having to accept without fear, without trigger, without anger, without resentment, without resistance, without making a story that it means I'm unworthy or not ready or something like this. And so I can see where the instability of my mind and the instability was created by my lack of healing. And that being in a connection that wasn't balanced in the way where we could give and receive to each other at that time had nothing to do with me myself. That it was just an indicator of the timing in which we both fell into. That you carry your own perfect timing of what's right for you and what's healed within you, and I carry my own understanding of what's right for me and what feels good. And although I do feel like what I did want was a vision of a future, and what I did want was getting together and being able to explore and create something here, it's like the reality is that healing needs to happen. The reality is that love must be understood profoundly within, and that one must know when they're giving from a place of true love, because they fully love themselves and they're capable of connecting to that, and that they're not sort of sitting with fear or let the fear sort of dictate when to engage and when to not, or when to withhold or when to show up. And so I feel like this love has showed me a lot about myself, how I've engaged, and the truth. And so although I do want a future, and although I do want to explore, and I do want to be appreciated, I want to be seen, I want to be loved, I want to be valued, I want to experience abundance here, I don't put this on what you're capable of doing and not, and whether this is something that's going to come to me or not. This is something that is already within me, something that I can give to myself, that I don't got to wait and see whether it's going to come from you or whether it's going to unfold from you or whether it'll ever happen. It's already happened for me my love is already within me. My value is already there. And the truth is that we could still share a very deep, profound love and a connection here, despite where we're at here in this 3D world and what we're capable of giving to each other or showing each other. And so I feel like there's our own experiences that is unfolding. It might seem like we're separate, but really we're connected. We're one. We're one within the heart. We're one within our soul. I feel like we are already connected, that we have already united. And I also know that there is things unfolding, and that it will be perfect in God's universe how it unfolds. That's true of wins however it unfolds. That this match was made by the divine, and that anything divine is perfect, that it unfolds exactly through how the divine wills it to be. And that we are connected here in a way that transcends any suffering or any obstacle, any trigger, any wound. But the greatest gift is what I see within myself. The greatest gift here is to be able to see beyond my pains and my experiences and my limitations and all of that stuff that was keeping me restricted from exploring what's next, you know? And so I see things completely different, having experienced this connection. I've made peace with the fact that we are maybe even in a stalemate here at this time, because I don't see this as something that has a limitation over me. I feel I am of peace of mind, and that healing happens as a result of things changing and shifting in my world, despite where this connection could be at, or whether this connection feels stuck, or whether this connection isn't progressing in a way here that I initially desired. So I don't know what the future holds for us, really, but I feel like I have faith in the divine, that this feels very true and real, and that there is this unwavering understanding and how this is going to unfold, that attaching to what it was that I wanted to see or experience and letting it unfold. And that's the beautiful gift I can give to us, and I could give to myself. And I feel like a lot of this triggering was my trying to protect this, you know, but it's not mine to protect, and that to trust in the divine, that the divine will protect what is needed, and that all I need to do is sit with my inner confidence and sit with my inner truth, and everything else let the divine carry, and free myself from any of these limiting sort of thoughts that I might have had, that I was trying to do the work of the divine, or that I needed to shift a whole bunch of things within me in order to be worthy of love, or to tip the scales in a different way, or do something here. I just don't see it that way no more. Love of myself is here, and it's wanting me to embrace it. It's wanting me to sit with it. It's wanting me to experience it and express it and acknowledge it. And so I do feel like I've learned this. I feel like I can sit with this, and despite whatever has happened or is happening with us, it goes on forever. We are forever connected in the heart and in time and space. Pile number 3. This definitely could have been your energy, for sure. You know, it feels like a very, very, very strong connection of two souls that has it really had a profound impact on someone's insight about their own way of loving themselves, their own inner world, connecting to the divine, trusting the divine. So what we're going to do is ask for some guidance here. Okay, clear and concise message in regards to guidance and advice for pile number 3. What are they being guided to do, or what is the advice here in this connection for the greatest and highest good of pile 3? Thank you, Spirit. What is the guidance? What is the advice? What is pile 3 being called to acknowledge or to do at this time, to sit with or to understand at this time? I feel like there's a major breakthrough happening here with this person, and like they found the solution to something maybe that was not coming to them. They found the key or something like this. Yeah, 3 swords, healing, the heartbreak, 10 pentacles. 10 pentacles is what we could build in the 3D. Okay, Queen of Cups, true love, compassion, 6 swords, moving away from difficulty to a swords in the reverse. So we have the Queen of Wands now in the upright, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the Hierophant, Taurus, greater lessons of learning, 4 swords now in the upright, the Emperor in the middle here, Aries energy, divine masculine, 5 of Wands, and then the Devil, which is Capricorn energy. Okay, let me see what Spirit's talking about here, and then the Page of Swords in the reverse. Okay. I feel like what Spirit's really talking about here is, well, resistance for one. It's like to resist what is could be keeping us stuck, you know? To resist what is in reality could be toxic, okay? But what this is like the devil. It's like repeating patterns, feeling chained, feeling stuck. Things we don't necessarily like to experience, and we could try to fight it, strategize, plan, try to work there. And it's like there's no battling the devil. The only thing we can do is sort of move with love and compassion and free yourselves from any situation that could feel stuck, that could feel like it has a hold of us, or there's nothing I can do, you know? It's like, I feel like if you felt abandoned or heartbroken or left out, or like a sadness or a hole in your heart or lonely or whatever, it's like, I don't see or understand when this pain would ever sort of be filled or heal or remove itself, unless there's this like 3D world that I could build that could stabilize this pain in some way, because it's showing me something about myself. But Spirit is kicking it back to this ability to connect to your own empowerment, to see your own value, to be able to magnetize towards you through love. So if it's an act of love, then it's a right action. If it's resistance, if it's fighting, if it's conflicted in any way, then it's actually in wrong action or misaligned. And so there seems to be a lesson learned, you know, like a higher truth here about self-love, self-value, self-importance that's been really healed, that's been healing, that's been working through those 3 swords. And this is what's going to create a reality that we can depend upon, or something that stands the test of time in the 3D, through the love, through the value of self, through pouring love towards our own value, not using the energy to resist or fight or prove or challenge something that doesn't feel right. So slowly but surely, we move towards this sort of energy, which gives us more strength, more independence, more empowerment, and it creates the structure that we're wanting, because we might want, someone to reflect this, someone to build this with, someone to step into their emperor energy, And it's like the more I'm surrounded by an environment that it doesn't feel good, the more I'm trying to fight it through proving or doing, maybe if I do this or say that or do something, it's like, no, this just keeps us sort of here. It's like, don't even play the game. Refuse to play the game. Not that you're a game playing, but it's like, if I don't even participate, it doesn't mean block, remove yourself from this person. It means I don't even participate in feeding this devil, I'm empowered to just move forward from a place of love. And I know my self-worth. We can only do this when we know our self-worth, when we don't get to prove it or fight it or see it in others. It's like I could bring towards me and I could stand in my truth of value without it making me feel like it gets taken from me or needs to be shown to me in only one sort of way here. Because I do feel like maybe there was something of a commitment or of a build here. It's like, I want to stick with the traditional build, to commit to this sort of a thing, and this is the only thing that will give me value or heal my wound. It's like, no, this wound is actually created because there's a need to connect to love differently. Fears transcended, connect to true compassionate love, move beyond the way that we have been maybe engaged with love or in a relationship with our emotions, stand in our own value without it being handed to us because it's already there, and not sort of stay stuck arguing the devil or the toxicity or the trigger, the challenge, the thing that we wanted to have resolution with. It's like, we can't resist reality. We can't force someone to build us something, It's like we can move towards that in which is true and move in truth. And then we've learned what we are needing to learn here, healed what we needed to heal. Yeah, we got to let it fall. And whatever falls is not in truth anyway. Whatever it is, clinging, attaching, beliefs, instabilities, insecurities, fears, whatever this tower represents, and it could be like shocking to just let it sort of fall. It's like, well, I got to let go. It's like, no, we're just moving on from the stuckness, the trappedness, the fear, the mindset, letting it fall so that what does stand is the truth of love, the truth of our value, the truth of like what love stands for, without any manipulation or strategy or fear or any of this, without feeling trapped or stuck. It's like, this is true empowerment. So I feel like you're being your own emperor, giving to yourself that in which maybe you were trying to seek another. And by doing this, you're actually attracting the emperor, You're moving towards with your empowerment. And so it is exactly what you mirror. If you're mirroring an emperor energy, you bring in an emperor, But if you're mirroring like, I don't know, like lack or conflict, or I'm stuck, or I'm trapped, or I'm trying to get something, make something, discover something, and then it's like, no, you don't need to play that game. Okay, so I feel like maybe, like I said, this was your energy and you're learning and have learned how to overcome something here, and maybe how to still your mind, how to see the truth beyond maybe what has been distorted. Like I said, there was like a kaleidoscope here, which was creating some form of understanding that might have not have been necessarily true. And it was just perpetuating this heartbreaker, this pain, this lack, the suffering. Okay, so we have Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Taurus, Capricorn energy here. Beautiful angel, this is your reading. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye.